Hey, it's Carol. I'm here with Ricky Smith. He's the owner of Guardian Angel Inspections. He has a bunch of information on his website, which is guardianangelinspections.com, and you can reach him at 561-512-7854. So Ricky, it's been a long time.
Yes, ma'am.
We've known each other a really long time.
We have.
We have, and your company has really grown, which is awesome. I really cherish your information and your expertise. I'm just going to ask you some questions so that you can illustrate to our viewers what it is your company does and how you go about it.
Awesome.
Great. Let's start with the first question. What are the most common issues you encounter during the home inspections in South Florida?
Anything from roof related to electrical. Some of the common ones we find that are not really big issues, but little things that we find, GFI is not in proper place, plumbing leaks under sinks. It's really, there's all the common issues, there's the larger issues. It's different from house to house for sure.
And the GFCI, I know, comes up a lot in inspections when I'm doing an inspection for the buyer, and that's basically kind of a plug that has a trip, right?
Correct.
Around water sources.
Yep. Within 5 feet of water, it's an outlet that's basically, it's called ground fault interrupt is what GFI stands for. And in the event of a short, the outlet trips and doesn't allow power to go back to the user. So, in a bathroom, if you have a hair dryer that shorts out, it prevents an electrical shock.
Yes, that's an important part.
Absolutely. No one likes to get shocked. That's how my hair got like this.
And mine. What should buyers be most cautious about when reviewing a home inspection report?
Look at everything. So our reports are very easy to read. The first, say, maybe 10 pages or so are strictly the defects, right? Obviously, the amount of pages would differ from how many defects are in the home.
Mm-hmm.
But the summary of defects, summary of findings is the first, 10 pages or so.
Right.
Every other page after that is pictures of the property as it was at the time of the inspection. That's super important because you need to know the condition of the property day of inspection. Because if anything changes, it needs to be addressed, obviously.
Right. And you're very good about walking around, and if the buyer is walking along with you, you're pointing things as you go.
Absolutely.
And mentioning things to them that are of concern or that may not be of major concern, but
Right.
you're just letting them know
Right.
what you're seeing.
And our inspectors are all full of information. Information's always free. You always, we try to teach, we use every option as a teachable moment. Not everybody knows where their AC filter is. Not everybody knows where their main water shutoff is, how to shut all the power off to the house. Those are important things, especially here in South Florida.
Right. And also you have situations where the seller has a lot of stuff in their garage or that's impacting their access to
Right.
water heaters or air conditioning, air handlers, or attic access.
Correct.
And why is it important that a seller should make sure that those things are cleared out?
So in order for everything to be properly inspected, nobody wants to pay us to have to come back out a second time, right? And pretty much every company has a return trip. Nobody wants to spend extra money.
Right.
So making sure electrical panels are, not obstructed, water heaters, air conditioners, attic accesses, even windows. As simple as it is to have something not in front of a window is very easy for the inspectors, because us as inspectors, our liability doesn't allow us to move any personal belongings.
Right, that's true. I remember you telling me that a long time ago. Now, talking about the seller from a seller's standpoint, what do you think a seller can prepare? How do you think a seller can prepare their home to be ready for that home inspection that the buyer's paying for?
So everything I just talked about, making sure that every area is accessible, right? You don't want to have a report full of couldn't access here, couldn't access there, stuff like that. It's
Right.
really a matter of making sure that areas are accessible. Closets are not full of top to bottom linens. Under sinks is a big one. Make sure all the cleaning materials or cleaning supplies and Publix bags, all that needs to be out from under there so we
Right.
can actually see the plumbing and verify it's not leaking.
And you have a product that's called a pre-listing report, right?
Right.
For the seller
Right.
before they even list their home. Tell
Right.
us a little bit about that.
So it's basically just a regular inspection. The only difference is it's for a seller versus for a buyer. On the seller side, they are able to figure out repairs without being under a timeline of an inspection period.
Right.
Find better cost of repairs as opposed to being
True.
crunched to get the first person out there that's going to charge more just because they're coming out on short notice.
Right.
It's basically how ready is my house to sell.
Right. And it's beneficial in ways that where people are busy with their work life, their home life, or they may not just be they don't have a lot of know-how
Right.
as to what it is they need to look for. They call a professional, have the professional identify problem areas that would be pointed out later
Right.
in a normal inspection with the buyer there.
Yep.
Now scrutinizing everything that's happening during that inspection process, right?
Exactly.
Okay, that's
Huge benefit to
that
the
is a
seller to
huge
do that.
benefit. Let's talk about the 4-point inspections
Okay.
and the relevance of 4-point inspections and wind mitigation reports here in Florida.
Okay. So first and foremost, a 4-point is not a more in-depth inspection than an actual home inspection, and it's also not meant to substitute for an inspection, right? A 4-point is strictly an insurance inspection.
Right.
Roof, AC, electrical, and plumbing.
Those are the four
Those
things.
are the 4 points of the 4-point.
Mhm.
Insurance companies basically want to know how insurable is that home. What
Right.
is their chance of having to pay out on a claim? So that's the purpose of the 4-point. How old is the AC? How old is the water heater? What condition is all the plumbing in? How is the electrical? Is there any electrical issues? How old is the roof?
Right.
Was the roof permitted, or was it just done without a permit?
Right, that's
Having a
really
roof permit's
important.
important.
Yeah, having a lot of things permitted
Right.
are important. And also you include in terms of like what's on the windows, what protection is on the windows.
Well, that's
is
on the wind
noted.
mitigation, which is a separate insurance.
Okay.
So it's two separate insurance forms, but they're both needed for insurance.
And the wind mitigation then would detail how safe, prepared the home
Correct.
is
How
for.
hurricane ready is it?
Yeah, how hurricane.
How old is the roof? How is the roof attached? How is the roof attached to the roof structure attached to the actual home structure? The biggest thing is opening protection, hurricane shutters,
Right.
accordion shutters, impact windows. You don't get double credit if you have impact windows and shutters on the impact windows.
Right.
You get one credit. And every glass opening has to be protected. It's an all or none credit.
Yeah, all
You
or
have a
nothing.
little small front door window that doesn't have protection, but everything else is impact. You lose that entire credit. That
Right.
credit could be 10 to 20% of the premium.
That's right. It was great having you here to talk to. So thanks again to Ricky. If you want to reach out to him, you can reach him at 561-512-7854. He does inspections all the way from Dade County, which is Miami, all the way through what?
Orange County.
Orange County.
Orlando.
So there's a big area that he traverses to do home inspections, and I recommend him very highly.
You know you got